So till now, if you observe, we have discussed about this thing. Now let us go into little depth of the diode characteristics. So you are trying to see this plot. So where I am plotting the characteristics. So if I take this current into consideration, so this current is said to be forward current. So that forward current is I am calling as IF. So whenever it reaches to this instance, okay, whenever it reaches to this instance, you have removed the supply. Assume you have removed the supply. So what is actually going to happen in that case? That is the phenomenon that we have to look. So uh, see, I mean here the capacitive charging phenomenon will take place. So what is the capacitive phenomenon? Observe carefully. So here the capacitive charging phenomenon is like this. So in the capacitor, what actually happens if you take two parallel plates? So these are perfectly neutralized, plates. So in these plates, what actually happens? The number of holes is equal to the number of electrons. The number of holes is equal to the number of electrons. Or I can say that if you think in terms of holes and any confusion, assume that all electrons are there and equal number of electrons are getting distributed on the plates. Okay, now what actually happens is when you give so I mean actually a plate combines both the holes and electrons, right? So I mean let us talk, because for our understanding we'll take both of them. A plate combines both the holes and electrons. Now when you so when you externally give a positive supply, so what actually happens is more number of holes will try to form onto this plate. Okay, so now if you and when you connect the negative supply here, more number of electrons will try to form in this plate. So ultimately what will happen, more number of holes will be here and more number of electrons will be here. Now you observe carefully. So comparatively this plate is positive with more positive charge than this plate. So in other ways also you can tell that this plate is more negatively charged compared with this plate. Okay. Now what will happen? Due to this more positive nature, whatever the holes that are there in this region will try to repel. So observe carefully. No electron is going inside this thing. Instead, only a force of this more positiveness is happening on this plate. Similarly, the more negative particle movement is happening here. So for our easiness and understanding purposes, whatever the things are there, let us understand in that way only. So now observe carefully. Since the current or whole current is not actually moving through the plate, instead through the force of repulsion, this movement is happening. So that is reason why we tell that in the capacitor current is first. So if you put a voltmeter here, the voltage will not be yet developed, but the current started flowing through this. That is why the capacitor current is leading. Now okay, so assume that you are giving enough amount of voltage so that all the holes are pressurized and all the holes are moving start. But if you give more and more and more voltage, what will actually happen? There is a possibility that this electron will get repelled. So once the electron is jumping, once the combination takes place here, the spark that you may occur because a lot of energy. That's reason that is called breakdown, capacitor breakdown, and all those things. But we are not interested in that. So now you have given enough supply so that the charges are started moving. Now suddenly you reduce the supply. Once you suddenly reduce the supply, what actually happens is, so now the force, the more positive force on this is reduced. That means what? Whatever the hole that has lost, it will recombine these holes and it will come to a neutral state. Again it will come to its neutral state. So again what is actually happening? Voltage is increasing and then voltage is decreasing. So this type of phenomenon you can observe, increasing and decreasing phenomenon. So similarly, in the same concept wise, so right now the recombination of holes and electrons occurs, the holes is passing through and hole is reaching this point. Okay, now hole is reaching this point, that is perfectly alright. Now what we did was, we have removed this supply. Once you remove this supply, the current will not be instantaneously zero. Instead, it will be take some time to reach to zero. Okay, this is very, very important. It is taking some time to reach to zero. After this, will it stop at zero? No, because the current is going in the reverse direction, isn't it? So the current will go on reverse direction and then recombination will occur and then it will reach to zero. So now for our understanding in the scientific literature, what they did is they have classified this part into two ways. Okay, so this they are calling this a TA, the time taken from 0 to extreme negative. So this is TA, and they took this as TB. So TB means the time taken from extreme negative to not completely at 0. I can say that it is till this point, like say 1/4 of this thing. Okay, this is TB. So this total time they are calling as TRR. So TRR means reverse recovery time. So this is reverse current at maximum, IRM. Okay, reverse current at maximum. So these are the reverse characteristics of a diode. Now you observe carefully. So I mean, why we should go for this TA and TB? Because TA and TB defines the softness factor or S factor of a device. So the softness factor or S factor of a device can be defined as, it is the ratio of TB to TA. So what actually this indicates? This factor is the measure of voltage transients that occur during the time the diode recovers. So generally this soft factor value is unity. Okay, so like, or we can say that a diode with the soft factor equal to 1 is called the soft recovery diode. If the diode is having soft factor 1, then it is called soft recovery diode. Now if the diode is, that means if the diode is having this value is comparatively less, then what it indicates? If this value is comparatively less, means the diode is tend to be fast. So that type of diode is called snappy recovery. That type of diode is called snappy recovery or fast recovery diodes. So like there are so many types of diodes are there. Out of, I mean, if any people will ask, so what is the, I mean, like how do you define which is the fast and which is the slow? Based on these characteristics you can tell that whether the device is a fast recovery diode or a normal recovery diode. Okay. So now let's dig into some more important items. That is, so let me go through. Let me go like this. So you have seen the curve is looking like a triangle, right? So like you can say that under these assumptions, you can see that there are two assumptions here. The point number one is the maximum reverse current that is reached is the current that is changing from 0 with respect to the time in the range of TA, means in the tune of TA only it is reaching. So if it is starting 0 till this TA point, it is reaching here. So what are the change in time that is happening? Di by dt. So this is called rate of change of current. Rate of change of current. So at this time this is the current, at this time this is the current. So what is this current? This is di by dt with time of Ta. Now what is the charge recovery in this phenomenon? So if you observe, I mean almost it's look like a triangle. So the charge recovery that happens QR is equal to half. So length into breadth. So IRM into TRR, because total is TRR. So I am taking only half of that. So from this you calculate what is IRM value. IRM is equal to 2 into QR by TRR. Actually these are the two important equations. Now if you assume that if this like this time, if you assume like if it's a very high speed diode, so the time that is going to be is very less. So at the time the TA is equal to TRR. If you assume that condition, then this IRM will become IRM is equal to di by dt into TRR. Sorry, TRR. Now you can equate this TRR and this TRR. If I take this thing, TRR is equal to 2 into QR by IRM, and if you equate this, or you can equate in IRR also, both way. So and from this way you can easily find out that what is that reverse recovery, and you can easily find out that what is the reverse recovery current. Okay, generally the reverse recovery current can be written as the reverse recovery current, or the reverse recovery time can be written as 2 into QR divided by di by dt whole to the power of 1 by 2. That is such a simple things. Okay.